Hello, welcome back to my channel. In this episode I'm going to be showing you how to install the GE Smart Switch. It's a paddle switch, on-off switch. They also make dimmer switches as well. And this switch is going to be controlling the sinks. So right above here we're going to control these lights as well as these lights over here. And right now, as you can see, if I do the sinks off, on, they're working manually. I do have, truth be told, I have GE bulbs up here, Wi-Fi bulbs, independent Wi-Fi bulbs. And when I first put them in, you know, of course I've got 8 of these, you know, I got some over there too, 4 and 4 over each sink. For the first 6 months, no issues. And I don't know what happened if the heat gets to the Z-Wave module or circuit inside of those, but they started flaking off one by one and I'd have to reset them, and that became a hassle. So now I'm just gonna put one switch on now that I've broadened my horizons and I've learned more about smart homes over the last couple years. It's more simple to just put one switch in and control some LED bulbs up there. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you, I'm going to take you through the process of installing it. They're not too hard to install. Just make sure you're safe. Use one of these things to test that there's no power inside that box when you go in there. And I'm going to go ahead and shut the breaker off right now and we'll come back. Stay tuned. Okay, sorry about the lighting. We're working by flashlight here because I cut the power off. And we're going to go ahead and remove the plate cover. And we're doing this side right here. It's for the sinks. This is the sink switch. It does both sinks. Okay. I think we got it here. Now before I start touching anything in here, I like to use my handy electric tester. And switch this to on and just touch on all these wires. Looks like this whole box is out, otherwise it would start lighting up, strobing and beeping at me. Okay, so we're safe. And so we've got, you know, a load wire and a hot wire. And what you want to determine is which one is the load wire. And this power is coming from the other switch. I'm going to say this one is going to the, I believe they call it the load. This is going to the actual lights. And what you need here is the two where the power passes through, both black wires, a ground wire, and you're also going to have to connect to a neutral white wire that should be in there, and it is in there, but it's behind the other switch. So I'm going to have to pull this out just to get to it. Those neutral wires are all connected together on a large wire nut. This right here, this large wire nut is wrapping all the white neutral wires. And what you'll see in the kit, when you get your kit, these GE paddle switches, smart switches, This is Z-Wave, by the way. It's a Z-Wave paddle switch. What you get here is a replacement paddle. This is the almond color. Mine are white, so it comes already affixed with the white one. But you also get one of these white neutral pigtail cables. So I got to connect that to this wire nut here, and then come out and connect to our new Z-Wave switch. There's Z-Wave switch right here. It's got a spot for the neutral wire right here, so we're gonna have to connect to that. So what we're gonna do here now is disconnect this wire nut. And we'll do another test here. No power in here. Take my pliers here, just kind of get this twisted around. Get that started, twisted around, and then we'll press and screw this wire nut back over all of our white neutral wires. Once we get that nice and tight, we're going to stuff that back in there how we had it. And we'll snake this around here. And we'll go at, we'll just remove these wires here. And I see my wife just got home, so the dogs just started barking. We're going to continue this in just a moment. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and remove this old light switch. Take the ground wire off. And the other two. Now these two, when you go and put your other Smart Z-Wave switch on, down here at the bottom right back of this is the white neutral connection wire that we connected to the gang of all of those on that wire nut in there. That's going to go here. Our ground wire is going to go on top on this green screw. That is a green screw right underneath here. Underneath that mounting screw right there, that's the green screw for ground. And then you've got this one up here is the load screw. The load means it's carrying the load to your lights. And then this is the line in at the bottom left. And that is the line in that is carrying power to the switch. And then the top one is going out to your lights. So we'll have to figure that out. Since this wire here, this black one, is looped around on this other switch, that tells me this is feeding power not only to one but to two. So I'm going to assume this is my line in. So I'm going to put the line in down here at the bottom, and they've got two holes in the back where you just put that stripped wire in there. It was already stripped from the last switch. And then I'm going to put the other black wire going out to the load, which is our sync lights. Go ahead and tighten the screw up on the side after we get that line in there. And that should be our load to the lights. And then we'll take our ground. And what I'm going to do with this ground is I'm going to go ahead and cut this part off with my non-sharpening pliers there. They're not very sharp. And just straighten this out a bit. Whoops. Sorry about that. And just make sure this thing doesn't have any paint or anything left on it. And we'll go ahead and put this, there's a actual hole in the back of here where the ground screw is, just like the other ones. So I'm going to slip that down in there and push it down all the way and go ahead and tighten up the ground screw, which is a green color. Get that nice and tight. Do a little tug on it. Do a little tug on all of them. Make sure they're in there tightened. And then we're going to go ahead and take this, the white pigtail. This white pigtail wire we had here. Go ahead and do that the same way on the neutral screw. And go ahead and tighten that up. Try not to hurt yourself. Make sure they're nice and snug. And then want to get all those wire nuts. You know, when you get like these 2 switch receptacles or 3 switches or even 4 switches, they can really be packed in there. And what I like to do before I start screwing these switches in, I like to make sure that they can actually fit flat side by side. And then I'll go ahead and screw them in there. And when you have double switches like this, or 3 or 4 like I said, don't tighten one down all the way until you get the rest of them going, because you have to make sure that they're going to line up for your switch plate cover to fit. What I like to do is just take the switch plate cover here, make sure we got, yeah, that's a good fit. And we'll go ahead and just tighten a couple more turns. And there we have it. We'll go ahead and turn the power back on. I'm going to put the switch cover back on here. Go ahead and start it. And no need to hang out here with the flashlight. I'll go ahead and turn it back on. We'll come back to this. Alright, we're back. I've got the switch cover plate back on here. Here's our sinks switch. We do have a blue indicator light here, indicating that this is getting power to the switch, which means that we did find the line out for the lights, and we picked the correct line in coming from the power box. So we'll go ahead and try it. We'll turn it on. And our lights are on. Lights on. All right, that's a good thing. And try it again, turn it off, on. All right, now we'll go ahead and open up the Smartthings app. And we're going to select the plus button, because we're going to add a thing. And I like to go to add device manually. And what we're going to do is pick switches and dimmers right here. So I'm going to select that, and I'm going to go up, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select the GE on-off paddle switch. That's the style we got. It's not the toggle switch. The paddle switches are the flat switches. The toggle ones are the older fashioned ones, where it's just like a little toggle switch. So this is the GE on-off paddle switch, Z-Wave. These are Z-Wave. We're connecting to the Smartthings hub, and we want to press connect now. We'll do that, and it's going to start searching. And what you want to do is press this on, off, and we already got it picked up here. GE wall switch right there. So it's asking you, do you want to rename your device? Want to do that? So we want to rename this. What should we name it? Sync lights. Rename it sync lights, and then we'll hit done. And we'll hit done again right here. And we'll go ahead and hit the save. And it says it's confirmed. Do OK. And now we have it. And we're going to test it out. And we see it in our Smartthings hub list here. These are all the things that I have that are smart in the house right now. Switches and lights and locks. Motion sensors. So here it is, sync lights. It says they're on now. I'm going to select off. They went off. Select on, and they went on. So it's as simple as that. Now I'm going to take you back to my office, and I'm going to show you how to connect this light switch to Amazon Alexa. We're going to connect these two to Amazon Alexa. All right, stay tuned. Okay, we've got our switch connected, our wall switch, and that is a GE paddle wall switch on-off style, and it's a Z-Wave, which we've paired already. We've installed the switch and we've paired it with our Smartthings hub. Now what we're going to do next is we're going to connect that to Amazon Alexa. So we're going to open up our Alexa app. Now those of you who've already installed switches and Wi-Fi light bulbs, Z-Wave products, you probably already are aware of this, but we'll go through this real quickly, and just so everyone knows how to do it, we're going to go here up to this menu at the home, and we're going to hit I believe it's Smarthome, and we're going to go to devices and scroll all the way up past all your connected devices already and hit this discover button. Now take note, we have right now showing 101 smart devices. We need that to be 102, and then we'll know we got our new switch added to it, to the Alexa. So we'll hit the discover button, and we're going to go ahead and wait. It says it could take up to 20 seconds. Okay, all done. Now let's see. Now it says it is showing right there. Now we're gonna make sure we see it. We name that the sync lights. Usually it's at the top. Yeah, there it is. Sync lights. It's on. So let's try Amazon Alexa and see if it recognizes it. I've got one up there. Echo. Turn on the sync lights.
Okay.
Very good. It recognized. So we're done.
Teachable.